Tom Williams has written a wonderful book. It's called Lost and Found. And I think you're going to be absolutely fascinated when you find out about the intrigue and how it's created. You know, here in our town, we're accustomed to talking about nautical archaeology, and we deal with satellites in this industry, and of course the oil play that's so prominent right now. And here is an author who's taken all of that and much more and put it together in a marvelous way. He's come all the way from Florida to be with us today. He actually lives on Marco Island. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, Sharon. Pleasure to be here.
Well, it's fun to get acquainted with your book and get acquainted with you. Help people understand how you got into Lost and Found in the first place.
Well, the idea came when everything started to be found, like the Titanic and subsequently the Bismarck and even Gus Grissom's Liberty Bell space capsule. When everything started to be found, I realized, oh my God, what if we could find this stuff from a satellite from space? And then I realized, wait a minute, all the lost treasures around the world. And in 1733, on Friday the 13th, there was 22 merchant ships left from Havana bound for Spain, and out of 21 of them didn't make it. And all of them were loaded with treasure of last 5 years of conquest. Incredible losses on the ocean floor, out there somewhere, never been found. I thought, what if gold as a superconductor could be found from space by a satellite? And that was the whole premise for Lost and Found.
And of course, that's really what you've done in weaving this into the mystery and intrigue and all of the personalities that are involved, is it finding gold from space.
Absolutely. And antiquities. They're just like unfound for probably thousands of years.
When you go about writing something like a novel, and like this one, of course, I need to tell you that he writes for Scripps. He is a published journalist in so many ways, and now is writing for Frontier Airlines, and they're on board magazine. You maybe have read some of his work there. How do you go about finding your characters, putting them together in some way that makes sense and that you can get from beginning to end?
That's really fun. People ask me that question a lot. It's a great question. And my belief is, if the characters are strong enough, they'll write the story for you. And it's just, you just know what these characters are going to do. They're so fun. They're so wonderful. I've got these two guys that are British scientists working in Texas, in Odessa and Midland, the oil company area. And they're English, and they're an aerospace engineer and a geologist, and they're both English, and they're hired by this West Texas oil firm to oversee this satellite telemetry. And they look, and for a year they're not finding anything at all. They're searching for oil. It's an oil company. They're given 1 week deadline to find something or else. So they go out for a couple of drinks one night, and they decide, wow, what if we reprogram this thing to look for gold? And they go in and do it. And in one cycle of the satellite orbiting from the North Pole to the South Pole, as it turns around the Earth, it finds 97 anomalies all over the world with all the GPS coordinates of all lost shipwrecks that contain gold, a superconductor.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's really a fun story. It goes from Texas on into Florida, where they ultimately look for one of those wrecks from the wrecked treasure fleet of 1733 off Cape Romano in southwest Florida. And they find it, but it's buried under so much sand they really can't extract anything. Unbeknownst to them, a really good bad guy's following him. He's the security director from the oil company, and he knows what they have found, and he knows that they have on one CD, one compact disc, all the GPS coordinates for 97 treasure ships around the world, unfound. So it's a chase, it's a quest, and the pace just keeps going faster and faster. These guys go looking for these treasure sites to prove that the satellite data is real, and the more they go into it, all these dark and mysterious things and bad things, murder, arson, everything happens behind them, right? And the back scenes, they're like, what's going on? And ultimately they meet one of the main characters, Billy, who's this tomboy dive captain, salvage expert, who's like beautiful, and she meets these two English guys, and off they go to another site, which is in Turkey. I don't want to give away the story, but It just goes on and on. It's great.
Well, we'll hold those thoughts. You've brought people in. Of course, they need to know that you do know something about the sea. You are talking about ships and shipwrecks, and you're talking about things that happen in the water, but you're also a captain in another life.
I am. I'm a merchant marine officer licensed for 23 years by the U.S. Coast Guard, and I'm also an advanced wreck certified scuba diver since 1987. And I go scuba dive whenever I can, and I like shipwrecks.
And you've made all that into a story that works. What a talent. We thank you for telling us your story. And here's the information we want to share with you. The name of this book is Lost and Found. And for more information, call 281-333-3507. That is the publicist. Or you may go to this website, www.lostandfoundadventure.com. And that will put you in touch and tell you a lot of things we didn't have time to talk about today. So good to have you here, and thanks for coming all the way from Florida to talk to us.
Thank you, Sharon, for having me.
Happy travels home.
Thank you.
And of course, thank you for joining us today. Haven't we met some interesting people? Don't we live in a great place? I'm Sharon Colson. I'll be back again next week on TV Magazine, and I'll look for you then.